This is the Mito podcast. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Megan.
And we decided today, about 5 minutes ago, that we're going to start a YouTube channel. So sorry we didn't get dressed up.
Yeah.
Hair is a little crazy.
We actually have the same hairstyle this morning.
We do. And we're starting a new fad. It's just this slick back, crazy hairs. So we're going to start a YouTube channel. Hopefully this will be our first video. And today we're actually going to talk to you guys about Mito Awareness Week. Now, Mito Awareness Week is always the third week of September. Is that right, Megan?
Yes, it's generally around that time. Yeah.
Okay. So this week, obviously, it starts on Sunday the 13th and it goes all the way to the 19th. And every organization has something else going on. So we kind of just wanted to tell you guys about the guts of it, why we have a Mito Awareness Week, what's it about, what you can do, because obviously it's in the name. It's all about raising awareness for mitochondrial diseases.
Yeah, and with Troy having had this for the last 12 years, we've gotten really creative in the different things that we do and trying to get our community and neighbors involved, because the more people that, know what this is, or even just, when you have a child and you're walking around in your neighborhood, and like, for instance, we've only lived in our new neighborhood for about 3 years now, and everyone knows what mitochondrial disease is because we, have Troy out and about, and during the week of the mitochondrial disease awareness, we do lots of little things to help our neighbors understand what he has and kind of what he goes through in his story. And so any awareness that you can spread is going to help for people to understand, and they're going to tell other people. And then eventually it usually helps to raising funds, and we need funds desperately. So exactly. It's a good week.
Exactly. It's an exciting week. And I hope as the years go by, it just gets bigger and bigger, and more people will understand and want to join us in our festivities.
Yes.
But so that's basically what Mito Awareness Week is. It's about just raising awareness. Like Megan was saying, you can go out in your neighborhoods, you can post on social media, you can look at whatever your either local or a global organization that you usually go with. That you have the Mito Research Fund here in San Diego. You have UMDF, the United Mitochondrial Disease Foundation. There's Mito Action. There's a bunch of, those are the biggest ones, but there are a couple of other ones that are a little bit smaller that also do a reach out. I believe it was Mito Action that started Light Up for Mito. And I think actually they only do it for one day, but do you know what day that is? I could look it up really quick.
Yes, what, I'm not sure this year which day it is.
So normally Light Up for Mito is it's the 14th. So it's on Monday. Oh no, that was 2019. Well, I think it would be the same. So maybe it's on Sunday. You think?
I'm not sure.
Okay, well, we have to get our facts straight on that one. But, I think it is. I think it's on Sunday. But I mean, if you're gonna light up for Mito, you may as well do it for the whole week, I think.
Exactly.
Because why go through all the trouble of decorating for just one day? I mean, I guess we do that for Halloween or Christmas, but you get to build up to it. So
for months for Halloween.
Yeah, so for this, I personally think you should just decorate for the whole week, because I mean it is a week-long event. And what's so cool about, and I am just so you know, I'm looking also at my computer so that I could tell you the correct numbers and everything like that. But Light Up for Mito, I think it just started in 2019, right? Last year?
I think it was last year, and it's the 16th. It's on the 16th for this year.
Oh, it's 16th this year? Okay. So it's a Tuesday. So every Tuesday of Mito Awareness Week. And if you look up the hashtag Light Up for Mito, a bunch of pictures will pop up. last year there was over 100 monuments and landmarks that were illuminated in green to raise awareness.
Even Niagara Falls.
Yeah, how cool is that? Australia has the most. They had 53 monuments. The UK had 41. Canada 25, Finland 23, Spain 16. I am super embarrassed to say this, but the USA only had 3 monuments lit up. How crazy is that?
We've
Just
got to work on that.
yeah, and it is difficult. There's a lot of channels that you have to go through to be able to get things lit up, but I think maybe by talking about it and hopefully on here on this podcast, it might inspire you at home to write to your local area and see if you guys have any monuments or landmarks that you could encourage the local government to light up so I'm gonna read this, but if you just look up light up for Mito, it's gonna be the first thing on Google, but it is www.gmdaw.org/light up for Mito. On that page, you will see a couple of different templates of letters that could help you start to reach out to your local monument to find out if they'll light up for green. Obviously, we're releasing this podcast too close to Mito Awareness Week for you to do it for this year, but for next year, this might help to prepare you to give you maybe the resources that you need to reach out. But also, if you look on this website, they have some great pictures. They have some amazing Mito warriors with whatever landmark is behind them. And they have a map that shows you, it's most, at least from my view, I have it zoomed in a little bit. The bulk of all the monuments are not in the US, they're across seas, but it's really cool to see. It's amazing to see just having people reach out for us or with us, even if they don't fully understand why. It's got to be so cool to drive around to see everything lit up in green, knowing what we know, knowing that it's touching our own hearts. Mm-hmm. But on a more local level, a lot of families, and Megan actually, her and Troy and their family last year told me about how they would go down, you guys would drive around your neighbor, not drive around, you'd walk around your neighborhood. You go up to your neighbors' houses and give them a green light bulb and tell them why, but you would be willing to go to Walmart or whatever your local store is that would carry them. Even Amazon has them, but you go out and buy a bunch of green light bulbs and then you go door to door saying, hey, I want to give you this light bulb if you could just light up for Mito with us for this week. And I think that's awesome. It's such a great idea. And I know a couple other families that are doing that this year, and it's so exciting. I want to drive around and just to see everything.
Yeah, it is. We in the neighborhood we lived in before this one, we were much more familiar with all the neighbors, and it was a little bit smaller neighborhood, but definitely we went around and probably gave out about 30 light bulbs, and then they were in a bag and they had Troy's story and Troy's picture, and we put together all the different green candies that we could find online and put them in there. And then actually when we moved to the neighborhood we're in now, we have about 50 neighbors. And last year we did the same thing, and it's just so amazing to see the support. I mean, we've had people that have put up, like Christmas green lights or, different things. And, we were very new to this neighborhood, and everybody, sometimes you're surprised at the support you get, but, then you're not. Generally people are really good and they want to help. And this year, actually, since we've already given out green light bulbs to everyone, we're actually doing little succulents because we have a massive amount of succulents on our property, and we're putting them in little jars with a green bow, and doing Troy's story again. We have a few new neighbors, but then just writing, if you need another green light bulb, please text us and we'll bring one to your house. And of course, with the pandemic, we're being careful and just setting things and not really knocking on people's doors or anything like that. But we're excited. We're excited this year. So
cool. That's a really cute idea.
Yeah.
I'm guilty. I have not gone through my neighborhood. My immediate neighbors are really nice. They're really sweet. And I'm sure if I went next door and asked them, I get nervous about going to people's houses, especially by myself.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's a really good idea. And I haven't done this yet. I've thought about it, and maybe I'll do it today, but I also haven't gone to too many stores. So I need to go and just find the green light bulbs, but that would just be easy so I don't have to wait for Amazon. But oh man, I lost my train of thought. On Facebook, a lot of areas have groups called the Buy Nothing group. And wherever you're living, you don't have to be in California or San Diego. If you go on Facebook, you go Buy Nothing, and then whatever city you live in, and different groups will pop up, and usually it'll be the first one. And so the Buy Nothing group, what it is you can enter it. You can only enter the ones that are within your community. So for me, I would only be allowed into Spring Valley, or only in La Mesa or North Park, or whatever little community I'm in. So you're in this group, and the Buy Nothing is instead of going to Goodwill or whatever donation charity that you have near you, you can post it on this site and say, hey neighbors, does anyone need this? And obviously, because of the name Buy Nothing, it's all free. So it's like my trash is someone's gold, and vice versa. So you post it on there, and neighbors will come up and say, yeah, I would love that. And they would come and pick it up. So I thought about posting on there and saying, hey guys, explaining Angelina's story and what Mito Awareness Week is, and posting the green light bulbs on there and seeing who would want them. That way I know how many to buy, and then I can go and deliver them. I just haven't gotten that far yet.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, we've been really busy. We have our own event going on Facebook. So I've dived more into that than I have into my own community, but I definitely need to do that. Our friend Deborah Lee, she's out in Fallbrook area, and Fallbrook is really stepping up to the plate. They're doing an amazing job. They're downtown. All the stores are lighting up in green.
Okay.
The store asked her if she had a banner that she could bring them, so they could put that up for the whole month. And then the newspaper did a story on their daughter Remy Lee, which is, I haven't been able to read it yet. I've been trying to get it, so I asked her to save the newspaper for me so I could read it. But it's a huge story. It's exciting. It's really cool that their community is pulling together just to talk about Remy Lee. And that's another way for people to reach out, whatever little town that you live in or city. Just reach out to the newspaper or the news, because a lot of times they're looking for stories like this. And just let them know, hey, either I myself or my child has this terminal disease, and we're raising awareness. And I know it sucks to say that, but to catch people's eye, to catch what they want to hear, I mean, those are things that perk people's ears up. It sucks. It's not something that you want to remember. It's not something you want in the forefront, but that's how we're going to get the word out. That's how people are going to hear our stories, to learn about Mito. And one day, I really hope, you think about what one fact. So also during Mito Awareness Week, you're going to see a bunch of facts laying around. So one fact is that Mito kills more kids than cancer does. Yet, if you look at how much fundraising there's being done for cancer, which is amazing. I'm not saying that it isn't, but it's huge. Everybody knows cancer. Everybody knows what that is, but nobody knows what Mito is. And more children are taken from that. So we need to make that change. Our families, the ones that are diagnosed, we have to make that change. It's a lot to put on your shoulders, but who else is going to do it? Nobody. So Mito Awareness Week is about that. We have to make a stand. We have to be big. We have to let people understand what this is and what it means. And the more newspaper articles, the more news stories that are done on our children or our adults, whoever it is that it's affected by Mito, that's how we're going to get the world. That's how people are going to find out. And in a couple years, hopefully, if more people do it, more reach out about their story, then it'll catch like a fire, and people will know who we are, know what our disease is.
Yeah, and I think, like I said before, with just, our neighbors and putting up green lights, and then, it's kind of surprising when you see 50 people and some that don't even know you, but that are supporting you. It is true that sometimes if you just reach out, like you said, to the news or to the newspapers, you'd be really surprised how many of these different organizations want to help and want to feature you. You and I have been on the news supporting our Mito 5K that we have. And, it was because you're a touching story with Angie. And, like you said, no, it's not great that our children have Mito. No, it's not great that they've passed away or that they have a terminal illness. But when you talk about that, it lets people know how serious this is, and that pulls on people's heartstrings. And our heartstrings are pulled 24/7. So it's nice to get that out there and let people understand, hey, this is our family. This is what we're going through. This is what we've gone through, and people want to help. And so if you are in your community and you want to reach out to your newspaper or your local news station, you would really be surprised about how many people will respond to you and get back to you. And, you're helping to spread awareness, and that's just so important.
And no, you are going to get the opposite too. You are going to get, it happens all the time, but don't let that deter you. That sucks too, because
it does. Here's a side story, but my son Troy has a therapy dog, Logan, and we actually thought he was lost. And he's a Labradoodle, and he's a huge dog. And so I started reaching out to all the news channels because I was like, oh my gosh, this is our dog. This is so crazy that we can't find him. And all the neighbors were looking. And I had 2 news channels tell me no, that they weren't interested in the story. And then I had another one say, oh, absolutely. When can we get out to see you? Fortunately, we found our dog hiding under our deck, which he now has GPS. But, it was a really scary thing. And we reached out to multiple news stations, and one responded to us and wanted to tell our story and wanted to help. So you just never know. And yes, you are going to get denied. Absolutely. So that's why you just keep trying and keep reaching out.
Yeah. It's not offense to you. It's not about your story. It has don't take it personal. That's just how it is. Some people will want to hear, some people won't. And that's okay too. It's not gonna, one person saying no. I mean, one door that closes, another one will open. And it's hard, I know, to hear that saying and have a Mito diagnosis, but you just have to keep trying. Someone will want to hear your story. I mean, we do. So if you want to come on the podcast, just write us. mitopodcast@gmail. I'll put it in there right now. I'll say it again later, but we want to hear your story. And we're still growing, and we only have a few followers, but we will get there. And every podcast that we can do to reach out, yes, we're not a local news station, but we are global. We get a lot of people that do listen, and we want to hear your story. And hopefully one day the Mito podcast will get a little bit bigger, and will be a resource for all the people that don't know what Mito is to listen in. And that's also another source for all of you out there too. If you want to reach out to us and be on our podcast and get your story heard, you can share that on your social media. And now that we're doing a YouTube channel, you can you can share that, or you can just share the audio. It doesn't matter, either one. But the more we do together, the better we'll get the word out about Mito, and that is what is most important. Um, we need to do this for our warriors. We need to do this for our angels. And Mito Awareness Week is the perfect week to go all out. It's like Spirit Week, and actually we never had a Spirit Week in high school, but it's bad. At least I don't think so. Maybe we
Hey,
did.
what high school did you go to? You didn't have a Spirit Week.
You know, I think things are so different now. Like now we have like a lot of high schools will have like, or even schools just in general have
Yeah.
crazy hair day or
Uh-huh.
not matching day or
Yeah.
but we never had anything like that.
Yeah, I think even because I taught at middle school, but we had it. The elementary schools have it. It's a big thing now. I think we had it in high school, like right before a big football game or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
we
remember.
have something like that where you just dress up in like school colors. But
Yeah,
for
but not
us,
today.
so we're green all
Yeah.
week during Mito or this week. Yeah, you can get little vinyl stickers to put on your car with the green ribbon that say Mito Awareness. What are some other ideas of
Well,
people?
I think too, granted, I was a teacher, so this was probably easier, but I always did something at my workplace. We, at the school I taught at, we had breakfasts on Friday. And so somebody would sign up, and I always signed up during Mito Week. And I brought everything green apples, we did green bagels and cream cheese. So we did a bunch of different things. And then I had, flyers out. I had a poster up about Troy. And granted, my workplace was very familiar with the disease and Troy since I had worked there for so long. But, doing things like that, even at your workplace, is good. I know in the situation right now, a lot of people are working from home. But putting up little flyers, I put little stories in everybody's mailbox. And I think one of the things that we've always done is we always had a little treat, a little something like what we're doing with our little succulents or the candy, just a little something to say thank you. And you would be surprised how many people actually want to donate. I have so many people emailing me, or even, neighbors dropping checks in our box, to, donate. And so I would always say, oh, well, this is just awareness, but people want to do kind things. And so doing it at your workplace is another thing that you can do as well.
Which, by the way, I just got it set up with UCSD. So if you do want to make a donation towards Mito research, we are having an event on Facebook. The Facebook page is San Diego Mito Supporters. It's going to be a week long. We have raffles, silent auction, but we do have a text Mito to be able to donate to Dr. Haas's research on mitochondrial diseases. Dr. Haas, if you don't know who he is, we just did a podcast with him, so you can listen to that one right after this if you'd like. But it's text Mito, which is MITO, to 31996. And when you do that, our flyer will pop up and it'll explain to you who you're donating towards. And then you can donate $5, $1. You could skip Starbucks for one day, donate $7, because I'm pretty sure coffee is around $7 to $10. But literally every dollar helps. And you don't have to choose that one. You can choose whichever Mito community that you would like to donate to, because honestly, across the board, we are all related. We're all one big family. We might be different organizations, but we have all the same doctors. It's all going towards Mito research. So you can't really go wrong, because every organization is doing something impactful, and they can all use the money.
And I think you would be surprised too to know, well, maybe not, but a lot of the doctors are absolutely connected. I mean, Dr. Haas and Dr. Navio, who we talk about a lot, are connected with the UMDF. And one of the things I listened to a Mito doc call that's put on by the UMDF, and there is a trial that's actually getting ready to start pretty soon. That's in it. I think it's a phase 2, and it seems pretty promising. And Dr. Haas will be a part of that, and UC San Diego will be a part of that. And so when you do donate to these different organizations, they're all in connection with these doctors and researchers, and putting forth that money to helping us find a cure or a treatment, which is so important.
Yeah. So just if you can't, that's fine too. Just wear green. Be ready to tell people why you're wearing green. Just say it's for Mito Awareness Week, and if you can, light up your house, your porch, your inside, whatever. I mean, even if you have an apartment, a condo, a house, it doesn't matter. You can light up a room. Like we have, our living room has a green light bulb in our lamp. So even if not everyone can see it, you can see it. You can post it on your social media, tag Light Up for Mito, so that everyone can see that you're doing something for Mitochondrial Disease Week, because it does matter. It does help. I know, like, whenever I look it up, it just warms my heart to know that so many people are trying so hard, and it kind of inspires me too to want to try harder for next year. Which Megan and I were just talking about how I tested my lights last night and they didn't work. I have to start over. I need to go quickly buy some more and redo the outside of the house.
And St. Patrick's Day, after St. Patrick's Day, that's an awesome time to get all sorts of your green needs for.
Yeah. Totally. What's best is it's St. Patrick's Day, and then we have our Mito 5K right after. So we always buy everything at St. Patrick's Day. And then after Halloween, obviously, because green is a Halloween color, and then Christmas. So all you have to do is find like the perfect set of lights that you can start Mito Awareness Week, and it'll carry you through Christmas.
Exactly. You've got all your different holidays covered with that one green light.
Exactly. But I think that pretty much covers it. Yeah. Do you have anything else to add?
No, just, wanting to give some ideas, and just everybody get out there and wear your green, light up your house, and just spread awareness, talk to people, or Zoom with people, whatever is spread awareness.
You can even go live on Facebook or on Instagram. If you have those social media, I always go to those because it is popular. It is a great way to share. But you can go live and show people what you're doing, which is always fun too, which is exciting. But yeah, so let us know what you guys are going to do for Mito Awareness Week. Send us some pictures. You can email us. It is mitopodcast@gmail.com. You can go to our Facebook page, which is Mito Podcast, Instagram, which is Mito Podcast. You can message us on either of those. And we will start our YouTube channel, which will also be, you ready? Mito Podcast. I should have done
that. Was shocking.
I know. So we should hopefully have that up. We started the channel, but this will be our first video on there. So just give us a few days to get it loaded. And we have not kept all of the videos from all of our previous podcasts, so we can't put those ones up. But those will obviously stay just on the podcast for you to listen to. But now you'll have a visual and you'll be able to see us cry.
And maybe our visual next time will be a little fancier.
I do have a Mito shirt on today, though. So.
Oh, nice. Look at that.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening. We will talk to you next time.